The other one is a willow teaching, I call it. This is a stick. Me and you both know we feared this, because it was instilled, that fear was instilled in us, with this willow, a stick. We were told when we were kids, go get that willow to be used on us. So a long time ago, we had people in the community that, lack of a better word, mistigogimawak. In Cree, mistigogimawak. In English, lack of a better word, stickmen. And they were recognized in the community or in the village. They were recognized who they were. It's just something like a town crier. You know, people call them different names. So a long time ago, they had those kind of people. It was their job. You know, we're sitting in the circle and you got these four directions in this rug here. Just like those four colors. A little story that, you know, the circle of life. From the east, we're children, we're babies. We start moving to the south. We become youth. But when we're babies over here, the east, who are we connected with across from us? The west. If you think about those four stages of life: child, youth, adult, elders. So when you're a child, you're connected to the adult, who is parents. More so a mother or a baby. That bond is close. So the baby, the child is connected to the mother over here, who sits in the west. They start moving, they become young kids, youth, I guess they call them. Baby, child, I guess. So when they start moving that way, they're starting to move away from their parent. They're coming this way to the north, which normally who sits over here? Grandpa and grandmother and grandfather, elders. So when they're over here to the south, where they become a youth, to that youth stage, well, they're starting to connect with the elders, the grandmothers, the grandfathers. So that's where it became important. The young youth, the youth. They used to bring them together, especially in the winter months. That's when storytelling took place. You know, we have our own creation stories. Our own. Some people call them legends. Like, you know, we got Visagetsag in Cree. Ojibwe, they call them Nenabush, and they call them. Some people write them up and they call them legends of Nenabush. They're not really legends. They're actually I call them creation stories, because those stories were told for a purpose. So the youth are sitting over here. They bring them together in the evenings inside a lodge. Mostly, long time ago, it was the teepees, or the lodges. And they sat them in a circle. Almost they give in the north, the elder, the teacher. So there's me and you, Carl. We're young. We're youth. We get invited into this lodge to come and listen. We're actually going to school. So me and you are sitting maybe one side, and the girls are sitting. Carl starts looking over there. There's a guy over there. Mistigogimawak is standing by the doorway behind us. You know, the stick man. Yeah, the stick man. All of a sudden, Carl, me or you, Carl, we start looking the other way. We're not listening to the teacher over here. Our mind wandered. They were making eyes to somebody else over here. So we're not listening. We're not focused. All of a sudden, they will tap you 4 times. You look up, and they will just point. They're telling you silently to listen. Pay attention. Not hit you on the head and yell at you and say, listen. That's the way that stick was used a long time ago. That's why I call it a Willow Teaching. It was used that way, in a gentle way. So, without no word, you paid attention. That stick became distorted after a while with colonization. Treaties, when the treaties were signed, then they started bringing in their ways. Religion was out of that. Residential school was another. Who ran the residential school? The people from the religion. What did they bring? They brought their own discipline. One of them was the stick, belt, whatever, torque. They brought their own discipline method. They beat the devil out of you, right? So when they used that stick, they didn't just tap you. And they yell at you, listen, Carl. How can you listen when you're getting hit? Don't cry. Well, that thing hurt. And they tell you not to cry. So they taught you to suppress, not show your emotion. So that thing became distorted. They use it as a discipline tool now, instead of a teaching tool. So that's a lot of wrongdoing for a long time. How many years? For the last 150 years, when was treaty signed? All this. This is what we're trying to start reversing. For me, going through the residential school system and fearing that, because it was imposed on me. Yes, I got away with, he used it, but you know how I felt when I used it on my own children. Awful. Why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep doing that? Because it was imposed on me. It made me think that it was okay. It was natural, But why did I feel like that, I think it was my upbringing with my grandmother here. She never striked us. Remember those teachings I taught, the kindness and to be respectful, That was in the back of my mind. But why do I keep doing that? I'll tell you a story, I did use it on my kids at times. But maybe 90% of the time I did. But the 10% of the time I did it, I felt awful. Why do I do that? I would discipline my kids. I would end up crying, even though I was mad at him for whatever reason. Sometimes it triggered me, because of my upbringing, because of that trigger effect. We call it, I don't know, traumatization, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And I would walk out on my kids, how come my dad is mad and he's crying? Because their mother explained it, and your dad loves you. Doesn't want to do anything wrong, and that's why he walked out. So I'd walk in the bush. I'd go yell my frustrations out. Come back. And then I sit down and rationalize with my kids that the reason I gave you a heck is, you're doing things wrong. Don't do those. So it gives me a chance being out there. But that stick did have a devastating effect. One of my parents triggered down to me. We still have this today. We still have this stick. You know where we have this? You know where we have this, We have it in our sundances, We have it in our powwow, We see people, sometimes the MC will say, where's the stick man, Or where's the arena director? So the arena director comes out, oh, Carl, you're not a traditional dancer. They just, so that's where it's used. At some dances too, just to direct, just kind of push people away gently, not hit them out of the way, So we still have it, This came to me at a camp in Saskatchewan. I was invited to do the medicine teaching, So I had an adopted uncle there at Kiziku's, It's on the other side of Swan River. So I phoned him up, I said, I got invited too, he said. All right, I said, I'll go there, I'll go and camp with you. I said, I don't have to do my presentation till tomorrow. But I'll go today. I said, I'll leave early, get ready, go and visit you same time, spend the night. When I got there, I said, let's go and check out the camp. So they were all set up, university students. They were just finishing supper up and all that, and then sat us down. They had 2 fires going, one for cooking and one for them to sit around. Those fires were close together. So anyway, they offered us tea and got us comfortable. My late adopted uncle, already about 81 years old. So we'll go and visit the camp. I said, so we have an idea where he knew where the camp was. So we'll go and visit it. We'll tell him we're here, Not just going to show up at the time we're needed, Go and visit, that was the way to do things, We visit, We visit each other, Just like, it's like coming here yesterday, Stop and visit you, instead of me sitting there somewhere by myself, And I ask you, what time do I have to be here? So I arrive 10 to 10. But I arrive, enough time, Get ready, Not just bang, do what I got to do and get out of here, So anyway, we went over there, and they were just finishing supper up. They offered us tea, so we waited. And all of a sudden, the coordinator said, "Can you share? They come and offered us tobacco. I'd like to share with us this evening, if you don't mind." Yeah, sure. So I accepted the tobacco. My uncle was sitting over here, about 2 or 3 chairs away. Kind of mixed up in there, mixed each other. So the students came around after they were all done. We waited. Oh, they're still over there busy. Yeah, we'll wait. I said, we're in no rush. I said, we'll wait for everybody to settle down. So a young lady came aside beside me over here, and she had a stick that she was poking the fire with, stoking up the fire. So I'm sitting there, all of a sudden, I'm looking at that. That's a tall stick. That's all she was using it for, stoking up the fire. I don't know what can I share with these people this evening, So sitting around, looking at the fire, and that fire attracted everybody. Everybody got in. I told them, don't rush. Tell them not to rush over there. Tell them to finish their job. Tell them in no hurry. Let them do things. Let them do what they got to do over there in the kitchen area. Put things away. If they want to rush, I said, they'll start making mistakes. We'll wait. I said, no, me and my uncle are not in a rush. We're not too far anyway to go home and have a good sleep. I said, I'm visiting him at his place. So, they took their time, I told them, don't rush. So again, in the meantime, it gave me time to think, what am I going to share with them? I saw this young lady with this stick, I don't know, it just came to me. Talk about this stick, what it represents. It just came to me, I was sitting there. So when they were all settling, okay. So my uncle says, "Oh, nephew, you go first." I don't know why, usually we leave it for the elders, And he said, "You go first, nephew. I'll leave you, I'll let you go first." I don't know, that's meant to be, So everybody sat. I said my thank you for the tobacco that was offered. So I looked at the young lady, I said, "Give me that stick for a minute." She gave me the stick. As soon as she gave me that stick, I went like that, Real quick, jumped up a little bit. And the reaction was this, And everybody looked at, shocked you over there. They were shocked, And because I just come close, it's like I was going to hit her, But I stopped it. And I said, "I'm sorry. I just wanted to demonstrate something. I want to talk about this stick." I said, I wanted the people to see your reaction and your own reaction. I said, and that's the way I started sharing that. I said, yes, I said, I want to talk about this stick. I feared this when I was growing up because it was used on me. And that's how I shared that, the way I'm sharing it with you. My uncle was sitting over here, 2 or 3 chairs down. That's the way I shared it to that group. So I said this stick became the story throughout the years. but it's slowly starting to come back. We can't even use it today now on our own because of the laws. We can't use it. In essence, I think it's going back. But the kids now, they don't respect that. But we have to teach them to listen. We have to teach them these teachings to be kind, respectful. So that's how I share that. Again, I apologize to this young woman. Hopefully, I didn't scare the crap out of you. No, you just startled me. And she didn't even expect that. But the reaction of her reaction and the people's reaction. And then my uncle over here, it was his turn. Nephew, come here, he said. You remind me of this. You remind me, he said. Yes, that stick was never used that way. He remembered when he was a boy, but when he got taken away, they started using it on him. And he used that stick himself with his own children crying. And he's 81 years old. There's about crying. And then he started sharing. He said, I don't know where my nephew gets these teachings. He said, he said, he comes and visits me lots. He said, my nephew here, I'm proud of him. He comes and visits me lots. He reminds me. He says, he makes me remember things that I put away. So if we can do that with an elder, and share that with others. He doesn't want to make me cry because he doesn't want to cry. Yeah, he said, this nephew of mine, he said, he come into my life about 15 years ago. And he made me stronger to this day. Like I say, he said, I knew his grandfather, he my musher from back home. And I told him, he said, you must have listened to this. So, that's what it is. That's what I call it a willow teaching. And it's a willow offering. So I combine these. So I thought I'd share those. And that's it. Yeah, they didn't fear it. They didn't fear it, but they knew the person that held that stick was an important person, but didn't use it that way. So all they did was tap you on the shoulder. And when you looked up, you knew that body language. That's all it was. That's what that is. These are just colors on here, just to make it colorful.
Yeah, got the colors,
Yeah.
Well, that old teaching about that spare the rod and spoil the child,
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that came from the other side of the ocean,
Yes, yeah. They brought that with them,
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought that.
Yeah.
And they imposed it on us.
Yeah. Well, Fred, that was a beautiful teaching.
Okay, and hopefully, whoever listens to it, take it to heart.
Yeah.
Take it forward with them.
Yeah, it's important for young parents to know that,
Yeah.
Because a lot of it, like they say, they never heard it maybe before.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
it.
Good.
That's it. There goes it. Mm-hmm.
So, Fred, once again, thank you
Mm-hmm.
for the beautiful teachings, and hopefully you'll get a chance to see these teachings and hear them. We'll be putting them on our UCN website, so take some time to look at them, and if you have any questions, you could come by the center. If you want to talk to Fred, or do you have an email address, Fred?
No, just the text.
Okay. So yeah, but if you do have any comments, or if you want to share anything, come by to see me, and I'll make sure the questions get to Fred. And maybe there's some way we can get that information back to you.
Mhm.
So, once again, it's been a really honor to hear your teachings, Fred.
Okay.
And thank you very much for coming by. So, hopefully, you'll be able to take something with you and use it in your life and in your journey as you walk this life. So once again, thank you.
Mhm. Ah, amigo.
Bye.
Hello.